entertainment, insights. Don't take life too seriously. Welcome to Brainsky Unleashed.
This morning, I'm laying in bed. I'm scrolling through LinkedIn, and I saw this thing about the Federal Trade Commission with the non-competes. Dude, I'm so excited for people, and here's why. If you don't have a trade secret in a company, you shouldn't have to sign a non-compete anyway, because you don't have anything to share.
I mean, isn't a non-compete a choice anyway? You don't have to sign it. Granted, you're probably not going to get the job, right?
We'll let you go if you don't sign it.
Yeah.
I was manipulated to sign one at that telemedicine company.
Oh, yeah?
Secrets. No.
Those guys were dicks, though.
Well,
They were.
the problem is the leadership think they knew it all,
Right.
right? They be right instead of get it right and make money.
I'm old enough to remember when you were there, and I'm old enough to remember all the phone calls that you would give me because you were so freaking miserable all the time. And this was the kind of company where they're like, you know what? We're going to charge way too much for our service, and we're going to price ourselves out of the market because we are so awesome. And then they'd be like, Craig, you're not selling. Well, yeah, no kidding. I'm not selling. The product can't be sold. It's overpriced, but we're great because we're awesome. Like, how stupid is that?
It wasn't just overpriced. I mean, the medium and large hospital market were building the platforms themselves. They didn't want or desire to use a third party. Well, guess what? You can't make somebody use you if they don't want you.
Wait, are you saying that you have to give the market what it needs and what it's asking for?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what a concept.
I really think this is what we need to do on a regular basis, right? Because too many companies are failing. Nobody wants to admit it. There's too much fake nonsense bullshit going on, not just in corporate America, the corporate world, corporate Europe, corporate South America, corporate, you know what I mean?
Tell us how you really feel.
Well, I'm just saying, dude, reality is a freaking pain in the butt,
It's a bitch.
right? Let's go hire a bunch of people that fit a box because they can be manipulated as sheeple. But anybody who has critical thinking skills, oh gosh, we can't have them because they might push back. So anyway, my point being, I was looking through LinkedIn today, and I saw a post about ADHD people and how the vast majority of people with ADHD in business are generally speaking, are the highest net worth people that have built something from nothing.
Well, I believe that. I think most people who, they profess to be, wildly successful. And I mean, look, am I a billionaire? No, but maybe one day. Probably. The thing is, you got to keep trying. You don't give up. I think too many people give up. It dawned on me last night, and we were talking last night that nobody's actually producing good content. There are good content producers, and most of the good content producers are not your really highly successful business people, which to me is crazy. I mean, like you look at Joe Rogan, and the dude could sit there and have random ongoing interviews that just go all over the map. And he's got the greatest podcast there ever was. But then you've got these really brilliant, fairly successful business people who want to give you all this knowledge, and they want to share it. And they want to help you get wealthy. They're business coaches, right? They're advisors, and they get 10 views. It's that's because they produce crap. Nobody wants to watch it.
That was like one of my old bosses. Craig, you're just a workaholic. I wonder if Phil Jackson ever said that to Kobe or Michael. Guys, you're just a workaholic. You're at the gym at 4:30 in the morning till 7. Then you go home, and then you come back at 10 o'clock for team practice. You guys are just a workaholic.
Was this the boss that we named your hemorrhoid after?
We did.
That's amazing. So that's the one.
Yes, that's the one. And I even got it on audio. I even got it on either audio or video. But yeah. She was like, Craig, you're just a workaholic. You just don't stop working. You have no work-life balance. I literally was like, is anybody that is truly successful in business, do they have work-life balance? Because you can't be part of the elite team if you only work from, 9 to 5.
I think it's a generational thing, so the younger generation really feels like there has to be some work-life balance. And to their credit, some of these people
Mhm.
are outstandingly wealthy, some of them, because those are the ones that create amazing content, can have, they can have that, like, balance. So we're talking last night, and I was able to prove to you last night that children on video testing different prison foods got like 53 million views. Yet you could take some
I
insanely,
just don't understand
I
that.
know,
Like, why do
but
people
you
want to watch?
contrast that and you take like this insanely sage advice from guys like Adam Coffey, right? Guys who could like literally make you into a billionaire if you follow his advice, and that may only get a few thousand views. Or then you get other like business coaching advice from people who may not be as famous as Adam Coffey. And these guys are producing really strong, high value content, and they get like 20 views. But yet the kids eating prison food will outdo everything. So I think the lesson I learned is, I think you have to be different and, embrace the crazy, so like this morning I created a reel, and I can't wait to see what it does. I created a reel where I'm standing in the mirror, like clipping my nose hair, and I accidentally stabbed myself in the nose in the process, which is even crazier. And I'm willing to bet that will actually produce better viewership than anything else I've done, which is asinine. Even more so than the cartoon I talked to.
I hope you were not naked.
No, but I never want to see you naked again, Craig. Disclosure, everyone. Uh, I love Craig. Known him a very long time, and he and I were doing like like a FaceTime thing, and he puts his phone down while we're having a call, and the phone is pointed at a mirror, like across the
I
room. And next thing I know, my friend is like buck naked, white ass, schlong, everything, and I'm like screaming, "Get away from the mirror!" Like I don't need to see that.
no, I forgot the mirror was there. That's why I put the phone and pushed it to the other way. I pushed it the other way so that you wouldn't see me. Guess what?
You have to be careful.
Thank God I was clean.
You have to oh god. I to this day now it's like I brush my teeth, I look at myself in the mirror, and I think of you, and I feel like I need a shower every time.
Hey, what can I tell you? Good thing to those who use the mirror.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Buddy. Yeah, I don't know. I just think with the whole video, social media, some of the most brilliant content gets like, 22 views out of 330 million people in the US. Uh, Blows my mind. I had somebody say to me the other day, actually, no, it was last week. It was last Thursday. Craig, in business, it's about helping people. Number one, they're right. It is. Um, I said, but if business is a game, how do you keep score? And they were like, well, what do you mean? Well, they had to ask, what do you mean? Number one, and this person's in their 40s. And I said, well, business is a game of profit, EBITDA. So if business is a game, the way you keep score is with money. They disagreed with me on that. I said, well, then why don't you just, they're like, it's not all about money. Don't disagree with that. But if money's not important in any way, shape, or form whatsoever, then why aren't you working for the Peace Corps?
Business is commerce. I mean, it is what it is, And what's really annoying to me is
Right? If idealistic person, well, it's not all about money, right? But here's the deal. Then why aren't you working for the Peace Corps?
right. Well, I look, because they need a job, because they need revenue, I mean, there's that.
The Peace Corps still pays money. It just they didn't like that. They didn't like my question.
Yeah. Well, it's not a comfortable question.
I am just very frustrated right now with companies because the people that have responsibilities um, are just Everybody's a millionaire. Everybody can write a check for $1 million without it bouncing.
I am so annoyed with LinkedIn. I get the point. It's where more business people, they businessize. But, there's such crap. Like, this thing I hate about social media, like they're not real. They have problems. Don't lie. You have problems. You have problems monetizing. You have problems with profitability. You may have problems with sales. You may have problems with service, support, manufacturing. Everyone's got problems, but everyone like acts on there like, well, we are the greatest. I am the greatest thing since sliced bread. As a matter of fact, sliced bread has nothing on me because I have an amazing profile.
In the UK, it costs more to buy cheese that's already sliced versus a block of cheese.
Did you know that in Italy, you have to spend money to go to the bathroom in most public places? You have to spend money to use the toilet in some public
Yes.
places. I hate that.
Belgium,
Yeah.
it's the same way. I
God.
give like 25 euro cents, and there's some really large Marge lady that's right outside that
Collects the money. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing more annoying than having to shell out €1 or 2 just to be able to take a dump. I hate that.
First time that I experienced that, I was in Luxembourg, and with my ex-in-laws, and went to the bathroom, and the lady's like, 50 euro cents, please. I was like, I just need to go to the restroom. Yes, 50 euro cents. I had to go back to the table. My ex-father-in-law's laughing. He's totally laughing. He goes, you need change? I go, yeah. I was like, unless she wants me to literally piss on her face. I mean, I
You might get in trouble for that.
get in trouble for that. But
Yeah,
I was
you don't want to give people a golden shower that aren't wanting a golden shower.
I was just like, that is odd that I have to pay to use a toilet.
And for the audience that doesn't understand the golden shower, I'm not actually talking about showering gold since we're on the topic of monetary instruments. I want to be clear about that.
Well, you got a very interesting sun thing on your face.
It's very annoying. Yeah. It's
got like a sash.
Yeah.
But you missed her.
My house is under construction. I have no place to record. So I go for this little nifty little nook that doesn't have giant construction, bruises all over it. And the sun will come out tomorrow. Craig, there was one time I was in Florence, Italy, and there was this beautiful, hilltop overlooking the city. I got the Duomo out there in the distance, the big cathedral, and I had to go to the bathroom. And right up there on this hill, I had to pay to go to the bathroom. Now, I'm not unfamiliar with this. I've been paying to go to the bathroom the entire week in any part of Italy, be it Rome or Pisa or whatever. And so I go up to the toilets, and this one really annoyed me because now I actually have to pay €1 to squat over a hole. How annoying is that? Now you're actually paying a premium to squat over a hole. What is that about? I should get a discount for that.
That's exactly why I took that picture when I went to the Dubai airport 2 months ago.
Oh, you walk around in the Middle East into a bathroom and you see all the water all over the floor. You know what that is.
I got to be honest with you. I absolutely hate that.
Do you know what blows my mind? I'm going to ask you this question. All right. You're in the Middle East. You go to Dubai, you go to Kuwait, you go to all these places, right? And you go to the bathroom, probably airport bathroom, something like that. Water all over the floor. What else do you see in the bathroom?
Toilet paper?
No. You see a lot of dudes walking into the bathroom wearing sandals. Think about it. All this pee-pee, poopy water all over the floor, and they're in sandals. I go there, and it's I want to have waders on,
You're right. Although this time, I've never spent more than usually 6 days, 7 days in Dubai. This time was 12 days. And I did see a lot of Arab men in their throbes, right? In their headgear. I did see a lot of them wearing Reebok and Nike sneakers. Less sandals this time.
Listen, there's a reason for that they're wearing Reeboks. Do you know what it is?
Because Joe fostered branding.
Well, it's more than that. It's actually It's actually because plug there for Joe. It's actually because they happen to watch Brainsky Unleashed and Raw Lessons Revealed with
There you
Joe
go.
Foster, founder of Reebok. That's why.
Yes.
The whole Middle East is excited about it.
When they listen to Brainsky Unleashed, it's like all shit hits the fan worldwide. Because it's like you're a wild tiger. You can't be tamed, my friend. You just
I
can't. You're like
yeah.
the creative Roy and Tommy.
What the I don't even know what to do with that. Like,
You're,
didn't one of those guys get eaten by a tiger? Like, is it
you're, you're the straight one with the pair.
oh, I got a pair. Oh, I got a pair.
Hey, I'm just telling you. You know, this is kind of like like Howard Stern and Man Cow in the Morning together.
I could not stomach Man Cow. Like, it to me, that's one of those shows that's like, I love Howard Stern. All right. I fucking love Howard Stern. I could sit in the car in the morning in traffic and just laugh because he's going to say something or there's something on that show that is so asinine and so immature that I have to laugh because the immaturity is great. Or he's doing an amazing interview. I have to say his interview style is so good. You know, he can get things out of people. And I sort of like try and model my interview style. Obviously I'm no Howard Stern. I wouldn't profess to be Howard Stern. Um, I'm younger, better looking. I'm just saying. But his interview style is so good that he can get people to say just about anything. And I'm, you know, I sort of have that ability, like, you know, I'll do that sometimes with like telesales people. Like they'll call me up. Like I had one situation where I was running my dental lab and yeah, why not stop production for this? I put the person on the speakerphone so the entire facility could enjoy what I was about to do. Man, I literally had this woman who called me telling me about her sex life
That's awesome.
because she was just so comfortable in the conversation. I mean, how crazy is that, you know?
And did you start out the conversation? Hi, Chrissy.
Oh my God, I had this I did have this I had this one, and this dude calls me up, and I'm, like, totally ready to mess with him. And again, stop production because 'cause I'm that immature at times. But they had, you know, do you wanna talk about morale? Like, the team loved this. They had such a good time. Oh my God, HR would have fired me if I ran a company.
Yeah, but you own the company. So
And I mean, listen, full disclosure, you know, if I'm helping a company out, I would never do stuff like this, obviously. But there was a time where I had this guy call up and it was a telesales call. And I'm like, oh my God, your voice, you sound familiar. He pauses. I'm like, were you that guy at that swingers party that I was at about a month ago down in Tampa? He's like, no. I'm like, you sound really familiar. He goes, I'm like, do you live in Tampa? And he goes, no, my brother does. You might be talking about my brother.
you totally made it up and like all
Yeah.
that came out. Oh my
And
gosh,
so I'm
that's
like, wait a minute, it
hysterical.
might be your brother. And so then I like, you know, I'm like, what's he look like downstairs? You know?
I would have literally been like, stumped. Like, what do I say now? I just made this up and he's not either A, playing along or B, it's really happening.
Oh my gosh. Like it was glorious, right? I mean, like there is a possibility that this guy could be legit and his brother could be legit.
Dude, that's funny.
Obviously, I didn't buy a product. Oh, there was another one. I'm telling you, I'm like ruthless to telesales people, even though like I've done telesales, and like if somebody did this to me, I would like absolutely have a ball with it. But I had this one girl, and she was I forget what it was. You know, I feel bad for like people who, you know who like try and sell like gas like gas bills and utility stuff, right? So in Pennsylvania, you can choose your supplier, right? And so you get all these calls like and they start these calls with like the worst thing they could ever say to me, right? Which is I'm required to stay on the phone until you get your gas bill. Okay, you're
Yes. Bill?
required you are required to stay on the phone?
By who?
Oh, it's on now. So, I'd like rustle some papers.
6 hours later,
Yeah,
talk
basically. And eventually she gets so frustrated, but she can't get off the phone, and so I hang up on her. She called me back. Oh, she called me back. God bless her for her gusto. Now I'm in
But
love.
why the bill? What do they email
Because they
you the
want to
bill?
compare. They want to compare your rate to what they can do, so they could sell you their service. And so she calls me back, and I'm stunned. And she's like, "You hung up on me." And I said, "You want to make a sale today?" She goes, "Well, yeah. How bad do you want it?" She goes, "Oh, I'm gonna make a sale today." I said, "I love your gusto." And so again, now I go out of my office. I put the phone on speaker. I'm like, "Everyone, gather around. Here we go." And so,
The employees had some entertainment. They
oh,
love
I mean,
that.
listen, there were days that we didn't get as much accomplished, but we had a good time, right? And so they,
Yeah,
they
but you
got
know
to
what?
listen to this.
Important in business, right?
Yes,
That's
we want
important
to
in
have a little
company.
bit of fun. So
That's the
anyway,
thing, right? Let them chuckle a little bit, right? Let
yes,
them have a little bit of, a few
yes,
minutes of downtime and then go back to work and be serious.
right. Anyway, and again, if I was ever coaching your company, I would never behave like that. But when it's your own and you're stupid, you do things like this when you're younger. I've matured a lot, as you can tell. Um, anyway, so what I did is I said, "Do you remember the movie Jerry Maguire?" She's like, "Yeah." I said, "Do you remember that scene, Show Me the Money?" "Yeah." I said,
You
"I
made her
want you
do
to
it?
yell from me, 'Show me the money.'" And she goes, "Show me the money." I said, "No, no, 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 no. I want you to yell, 'Show me the money.' I want to hear
Yes.
it. I want to feel it." And she's like, "Show me the money." I'm like, "No, no, 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 no. I want you to yell it. You want this sale? You got to earn this sale." She screams, "Show me the money." I said, "That was awesome," and hung up.
I
Ruthless.
love
Ruth,
white people. I love
ruthless.
purple people.
You know,
People.
being young and doing things like that, it's kind of fun. And you look back at it and you laugh. And then you get older, right? And you go, "God, I was such an asshole. I can't believe I would do that, you know?"
And when you're older, you know what's fun? Just being able to get to the coffee shop and have a muffin.
What?
No, I don't know, I just came to mind.
I don't know what to do with that.
Um, Go have a muffin.
Go have a Do I have to go to a coffee shop for a muffin? I mean, that's like an overpriced
Oh,
muffin.
I don't know.
Like, I can get a muffin from the Sam's Club. You can get like a vat of muffins for like
They
the
don't have
same
gluten-free
price you
muffins.
could pay for a Starbucks muffin. As a matter of fact,
They
the
don't have
Sam's
they don't
Club
they don't
muffin,
they don't they don't have
better.
they don't have gluten-free muffins.
Sam's Club muffins are like probably more sugary and more yummy and more moist. Like, man, some of these things you get from like Starbucks are like big, beautiful looking muffins, but yet they are dry.
So my sister Shelby
Yeah.
works at Starbucks part-time.
Yeah.
She said the store manager did an average of just random one day. What was the average amount? They took the total amount of sales um divided by the number of people, right?
Yeah.
Or drive through. Maybe they just did it for the drive through. Anyway, it came out to the average person spent $8.23 a transaction. Dude, why in the
Why?
hell? Which Shelby says sometimes these people come Monday through Friday, every single day. Like they know them by first name.
Okay. What was that? What
They're
was that
like,
number?
"Oh, hi, Becky. Good to see you this morning."
Hold on.
And I'm like,
What was that number?
$8.23.
All right. Here we go. So
Monday through
8.223,
Friday.
right? So that's 5 days, right? So an individual, 5 days, so in a week. So that's $41.15 in a week, right?
A week.
All right. And there's 52 weeks. Let's say that they take a 2-week vacation, right? So that's 50 weeks in a year, right? That's what they're giving Starbucks for coffee and a muffin?
My sister was floored. She was like, And even the manager, the store manager was like, there's no way the majority of people can really afford $8.23 a day.
Here we go. Here we go. You ready for this? We are going to change the world. I'm going to make people millionaires like right now. You ready for this?
Oh, are
And
you going to type it into that calculation?
I am, yeah. So I'm going to take that number,
What
right?
is the wait? Tell the website.
All right,
Tell
hold
the
on.
tell,
Yeah, hold on. Okay. So,
$2,057.50. Dude,
all right,
I could spend $2,000 on something a lot better than $8 coffee and a muffin every day.
we're going to drop the 50 cents, right? We're going to say $2,057 for 1 year, right? So $2,057 in a year. If you didn't go to Starbucks in that year and spent that, right? Then you take that
You know
that
what I
amount,
spent for coffee a day?
2,057, and this is
73 cents.
yeah, so this is investor.gov. This is very simple, right? So we're going to take $2,057, okay, as an initial investment, all right? And then we're going to contribute monthly to that. What was it? Was $41 a month? No, $41 a week, right?
$41.57 a month.
41 a week, right? So 41.67 was it? Oh god. You know what? We're just saying $41. $41 a week, right?
Yeah.
Okay. 4
Yeah,
weeks in a month.
$8.23 a day times 5
Yeah,
is like
so like, all right,
$41.
so 164. So we're going to do $164 a month beyond that, right? So 164. And let's just say someone's got maybe another 30 years left before they retire, right?
Sure.
Yeah, because they're fairly young. We're blowing all this money. Easily, anyone can get an interest rate, by the way, of like 10%. Trust me on that one.
Let's just go conservative, say 8%.
No, you could, dude, I get 10%
I
consistently.
agree with you, but
Yeah.
let's just go ridiculously conservative and just say it's 8%.
I'm going to meet you in the middle. We're going to go 9%.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, we're going to go 9%. All right, so we're going to compound this monthly.
9% interest.
Yeah, we're going to compound this monthly at 9% interest. Ready? At the end of
Yeah.
30 years, $330,000 in change.
That's only on $164 a month
But
at 9%.
instead, people give all of that to Starbucks. Look at that. I just created like multimillionaires right there because you could get
100%.
more. You could just like put more away and just do that with compound interest. Just do that alone and you're fine.
You know what these are?
I have no, what is that like a coffee pod thing?
Yeah. Yeah, it's an espresso, right? This is my eyes, right?
Yeah. So what did that cost versus a cup of Starbucks?
84 cents.
84 cents. Should I do the compound interest on that?
Yeah, exactly, right? But I mean, 84 cents compared to like $5 a day, $7 a day. $8.
Right.
I was just shocked that the average person, where they just randomly took a day sales and just did the average person was spending that day, it was like on a Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever it was, $8.23 was the average transaction total
At a Starbucks
at a Starbucks for
in Houston.
in Georgetown, Texas.
In Georgetown, Texas. Yeehaw.
I just was like, I got better things to spend my money on than overpriced coffee that tastes bitter
And a muffin.
and a cake pop. I have no problem with Starbucks. I buy one once in a while, but there's no way. I mean, this is what's funny. You and I both, for the audience, we know liquid net worth 9-figure people that
Sure.
can literally write a check for $400 million and the sucker won't bounce.
Right.
They do Starbucks or Caribou coffee or specialty coffee like twice a month.
But you know what's interesting? Because now that you
And
bring it
they
up,
can afford it.
but now that you bring it up, we've been in rooms with these people, high, ultra high net worth, right?
Oh my
You know-
gosh.
you know
that could
coffee's
buy
in
and
their
sell
hand?
what we make in a freaking year, they make in like 17 minutes.
Sure. But you know what coffee is in their hand when we're in these rooms?
The free hotel coffee.
Boom. Yeah.
Because when you work for your money, you don't piss it away.
Oh my gosh, what a concept.
And I'm trying to tell my kids this. I'm like, don't just spend your money on stuff because it's convenient, although that is okay. But you do it when you can afford it, and it doesn't put a dent in your bank account,
Right.
right? Like my daughter the other day did Uber Eats for school. I
Oh,
go,
it's expensive.
you
Ooh.
spent, I said, you spent I think it was $28 for like an $11 Chipotle. Just drive to Chipotle and spend the $11 and maybe the, you know, 90 cents each way worth of gasoline. Because you had a 2-hour break in the middle of your day before your next class.
Oh my gosh.
She's like, well, I was doing homework and I didn't want to leave. I said, I'm telling you right now, you do that every week for a year. By the way, she doesn't, but she did it this one time, which again, once in a while. But again, even once in a while, you literally spent like 200% more. You can just tell a society that is soft because they don't want to do the uncomfortable things.
Can you imagine like our grandparents? Like my grandparents were survivors of the Great Depression.
Mine
No.
too.
No. Now, I mean, I blow money like a rock star compared to my grandmother, who would like write dates on like everything. She would like write dates on like a bag of rubber bands, you know, don't make it expire. Uh, and yet, you know,
Sure, though.
you know, we we got kids who would go to do Uber Eats to bring something into school. It's like crazy. So I'm gonna share this with you.
Soft times
Today,
create weak people.
it's true. Today, speaking of children, today is my kid's birthday.
Yay, they're 9.
They're 9, I know. So
I can't believe they're 9.
my son, there was a bag with a gift in it, you know, and he gets up at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
This morning?
Yeah. And he like looks in the bag, right? He wants to know what's in there. He wanted this gift so bad. And so he's looking in the bag. So it's like 7 o'clock in the morning, comes into our room. First of all, he's like peeking in the room several times. My wife and I are like playing like fake and sleep, right? Sticking his head in. He's all excited, you know. Okay. And so he comes in and my wife's brushing her teeth and he's like, I know what's in the bag because I felt the bag and I know it's what I wanted.
Yeah, you looked at it, buddy.
And I'm like, why don't you be more honest?
Your son and my son must have had a conversation this
I
morning.
know, right? And he's like, okay, I looked in the bag, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I'm like, I thank you so much for being honest, you know? And so to have a little bit of fun with it, at one point, you know, he wasn't in the kitchen. And so what was in the bag, we got him like, he wanted this like Batman costume. And so kid likes costumes. I don't know why, but he likes costumes. I'm so in trouble. Kid's going to be cosplay. I guarantee it.
His wife will like it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And so what I did is he wasn't in the room. And so like I took like the wrapping stuff out of the bag and I put another costume in the bag, one that he already had, and I rewrapped it. So that way, when he goes to open it in front of us, it's actually not what he was expecting, you know? Oh my God. He opens this thing up and he's like that's not what it's supposed to be. He got all upset and he goes on a hunt for the right gift, right? And so as he's on his hunt, throw the regular gift back in there, rewrap it again. I said, okay, all right, here, buddy. Why don't you now? I said, I fixed the wrapping. Okay. Why don't you open it up? And he opens it up and he gets all excited. It's the gift that he wanted.
Oh, that's super awesome.
I torture my children.
Yeah, I love it. All right, I got to get ready for a phone call.
Hey, it's great. Let's, we need to do this again more often.
I'm okay doing this 3 times a week because we just get a lot of stuff off our chest and we talk about things that people think, but they're not necessarily willing to verbalize.